everyone, Namaste. This is me, Janwanjali Kocher. Welcome back to my channel, Tookwings Blog by Janwanjali Kocher. So, first of all, I hope you guys are enjoying our wedding podcast series. Thank you so much for this amazing response, you guys. So, wedding podcast series chali raha tha. Then I thought that we should also include silver or silver buying options, because it is a great buying options, great gifting option when it comes to weddings or the festive season. है ना, फेस्टिव सीजन भी आ गया है, वेडिंग्स भी आ गई हैं, तो सिल्वर को क्यों ना इंक्लूड किया जाए अपने इस पॉडकास्ट सीरीज में। तो जब हमने आज बात करी मिस्टर दीपक वोरा एंड मिस्टर जय वोरा, द फादर सन डुओ फ्रॉम द कोलाज सिल्वर, सो हमने बात करी कि क्या क्या ट्रेंड चल रहा है व्हेन इट कम्स टू ट्रूजो गिफ्टिंग ऑप्शंस, क्या क्या ट्रेंड्स चल रहे हैं व्हेन इट कम्स टू वेडिंग गिफ्टिंग ऑप्शंस, द रिटर्न गिफ्ट्स और द गिफ्ट्स यू कैन गिव टू द ब्राइड्स एंड द ग्रूम्स. And then there was this amazing I would say this amazing contrast between the father and the son we spoke to today, है ना. So one was speaking from the traditional perspective and the other was speaking from the new age perspective, and I think through this podcast you would just understand that silver as a gifting option, how is it for the younger generation and how is it for everyone out there, and should you buy silver, should you not invest in silver? And there are a lot of things we discussed in this podcast, and I think for wedding season it is a perfect time, for festive season it is a perfect time to discuss on this particular subject. So yeah, here you go guys, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. For further any queries you have around the podcast, you can always reach out to us or the Collage Silver. The details are down there in the detail description box. Thank you so much. Just have a look. Hi Deepak ji. Hi Jay. How are you?
Hi, Andy. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Hi.
Good, good. Welcome to Kahaniyaan by Tookwings Blog. So today we'll talk a lot about silver trends, silver gifting option, and as wedding season is also right around the corner, the festive season is right around the corner. We'll dive into the what are the best suited gifted options, or what are the best opted gifting options by the people out there. We'll ask you a lot of questions, but before that, at Kahaniya, we have this trend that we start our podcast with one story, that defines you, that maybe around collagen, silver, or maybe one story that you would like to, share with our audiences.
All right, that's fine. But do you want me to start with the story or whatever it is?
Start, yes.
Yes.
It's been a fairly long journey. I've been in this business since more than 25 years, about 25 years, 45 years. Prior to that, I inherited my knowledge, not the business, inherited my knowledge from my family. My father was, the person, the go-to person for silver, for anything. And extreme knowledge. And that's where I started off learning from him. And then my interest came in because this has been the family business for, now I'm the fourth generation, Jay is the fifth generation. So that comes in automatically. Now it started a long time ago, and I started mostly into, from selling to the export market. I was an exporter purely an exporter for till 2001. And during my export process, the encouragement came from people like Armani, people like Lambert from Germany. These are names which are very well known.
Right.
The American icon for now it's a very well known name, but I don't know if I should be able to. I should name her or not. She's a very famous designer brand in the USA. So I've sold to them all. I've sold to the big stores also. I mean, if like Selfridges, for example, I'm giving you names which are known in India. I'm not giving you maybe a higher price names, a higher, more luxurious names. I Magnin, that's closed. Magnet was an iconic store in USA, in California. I sold to them. Macy's also I've sold, but Macy's is not that level in terms of luxury.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, I've sold to German stores. I've sold to many British stores.
Hmm.
Uh, Amongst them, the lower end I considered for me, for our silver, was Marks and Spencer. That was Marks and Spencer, not lower end, but for relative purposes, comparing purposes, it is lower end than what my main customers were.
Hmm.
So this journey started off, and I got a lot of encouragement by receiving very positive feedback
Hmm.
from many of these customers in my export market. For example, Ralph Lauren said that Deepak, there's nobody else who can, you can even think of, we can even think of buying from.
Hmm.
Ralph Lauren is a big name,
Right.
and I was there, little bit more than a startup. Yes, yes, nodding, yes, yes, yes. But I knew what is inside. We were a small scale business, and Ralph Lauren was a big name even then.
Right. Hmm.
So the story went off there. That involved inventing a lot of techniques
Hmm.
which my grandfather or my great grandfather, which my father had no idea about.
Hmm. Hmm.
And these are not techniques, not necessarily techniques from technology,
Hmm.
but my personal interest was in doing a lot of research into anything, and even today I continue to do that.
Hmm.
And so I invented a lot of techniques of manufacturing. In fact, some of the techniques I invented, eventually people come to know what you're doing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they become the industry trend of producing silver.
Right.
Uh, I invented techniques how to produce silver whereby the wastage in silver production, which is a major cost element,
Right.
is
Right.
reduced substantially.
Hmm.
I invented techniques whereby the polishing labor, the buffing and polishing labor,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, only the best used to come to us and they used to train others. But with those techniques, I did not need a very high skill level
Hmm. Hmm.
because the techniques were such. And I'm employing these techniques even now in collage.
Okay.
So that was a very interesting journey. I traveled the world. My personal record was 7 countries in 6 days.
Oh, that's
That
amazing.
includes South America and Europe. Those
Oh.
7 countries,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
from France and to Spain to Venezuela, to USA.
Hmm.
I did 7 countries in 6 days. So we traveled a lot, and the traveling also helped me learn a lot.
Right.
It was traveling to sell, basically, a traveling salesman when we started off. But it helped me to learn.
Right.
And the best feedback is always the feedback given by your customer. People
Good.
often tend to say, "ये तो ऐसे ही करता है, he just does this."
Hmm.
Customers like that. But no, there is
Hmm.
never any reason, never any negative feedback without any reason.
Right.
And that one has to take as a learning process. And I
Totally.
learned on that, and which knowledge I gained, I'm trying to pass on to Jay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, he's a faster learner than I am. When he finds something interests him, he's a
Hmm.
faster. So effectively, I mean, what else can I tell you about my journey? Journey is, I mean, I can go on hours, if you make me talk, but then you'll get bored.
No, no. So that's a wonderful story. So let's come to you, Jay. How's your story with collage saver like?
Uh, Honestly, I have a very different like angle than my own father.
Hmm.
Like I think he wanted to work in silver and he went and learned with his father and then he started. I on the other hand, I wanted nothing to do with it.
Hmm.
I spent many years successfully trying to stay away from the family business. Like I have an elder brother also.
Hmm.
My dad has a brother who was working with him earlier. So, there's a lot of family involved. So there was not so much need for me to get into the family business. So, like I'm the second son, so I had a little bit more freedom. Like, like I was studying abroad, and then I had my own startup in tech for a few years. And, like bad timing, like we started during COVID, like a few months before COVID, and then COVID happened. So, like after that, like my dad split with his brother, his old partner. So then, like we were like, it's going to be a cutoff in knowledge, which we have, like we built over 100, years. If none of us continue in the next generation, and that's what kind of brought me to the table. Like I was like, I can't, whatever we knowledge and, we've amassed all these years, the goodwill, the legacy, we can't just let it go just because of, because I'm not super interested in silver. Because silver, like we make home decor stuff, idols. When I was younger, 15, 17, 18, it's not interesting to a person that age. So, like I never related with the customer or why they were selling it or why they were, it took time. I'm in my 30s now and I've started understanding it better. So, I think it was the right time to actually learn the back end of it.
Right.
Now's
So,
the right time.
right. So, how do you like it now?
It's nice. Like it's not very complicated, but well, dad's handling the complicated stuff, so so it's good now. There's some time to pick it up slowly without a lot of pressure.
Right.
Well, let me add to what he's saying that the real capital in our business is not money, it's not finances, it's not assets, it's not machinery. The real capital is knowledge.
Right.
In our business, that's the real capital.
Hmm.
And my knowledge has been gained, as I explained to you, with my experiences, with my feedback from my customers, with extensive reading.
Right.
So there are a lot of things to that.
Right. So we'll get into silver as an investment option, but before that, let's talk about silver as a gifting option. As I just mentioned, that wedding season is around the corner. So what do you think about how are the customers responding? What are the gifts they are looking for, and what are the gifts they should buy for the
You have to
wedding?
repeat that little bit, little bit.
Hmm.
Can you repeat that little bit, this question, little?
Okay, so we'll talk first about the wedding gifting options of silver and what are the customers looking for. I mean, what is the trend like for wedding gifting in silver when it comes to silver?
All right. That's an easy one as far as I'm concerned because I've done that all my years, all my life. Wedding gifting is of several types. One, especially in India, was, I think now, thank God it's going off for social purposes, for the trousseau, for the lady's trousseau when she was
Right,
getting married.
right.
And it's still there, but that's not the major one.
Hmm.
The major gifting is now the trend is invite gifts. So when you invited for a wedding, normally you get a gift. That's more in silver plated and less in silver, but many times in silver also, depending upon the budget of the person.
Right,
And the third is the gifting to the couple which is getting married.
right.
So basically, there are three types of gifts. I think all three are flourishing. Less and less in trousseau, because the age is not really. I mean, it's something I don't like doing also. But when you get an order, you can't say no.
Right, right, right.
It's the age is not really the in thing now, but especially with the younger couples. His age group does not even think about it.
Yeah, I'm 35, 34, 35. So
So they don't even think of the age. But yes, return gifts, invite gifts, we call them. They're big. Money spent by the parents, not by the couple that is getting married.
Right, right,
And every time you go to a wedding, everybody carries some kind of gift.
right.
maybe small, maybe big.
Mm-hmm.
So now the kind of items that are gifted, I can tell you, but it's a long list, quite exhaustive.
Make it a little brief, now.
Yeah. So speaking briefly, gifts to the home.
Mm-hmm.
Wedding gifts basically are for the home.
Right.
They comprise of serveware.
Hmm.
Serveware could include tea set, teapots, coffee pots,
Right.
dishes,
Hmm.
bowls.
Hmm.
Then, besides serveware, then there are other kinds of home decor.
Mm-hmm.
These comprise of flower vases, photo frames, picture frames, which we
Mm-hmm.
call memories.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second type of wedding gifting
Right.
people buy. And
Right.
in India, that giving to the somebodies,
Mm-hmm.
that involves a major gift.
Right. Agreed.
That's the most expensive gift,
Hmm.
unfortunately, but that the girl side ends up giving to the boys' side. Now
Mm-hmm.
we try to make some gifts where it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Why should the girl side only give a gift?
Right. Right.
But tradition is tradition.
Right. So, why is silver considered as a, better gifting option than any other metal out there when it comes to wedding gifting? If you have anything to tell us about that.
There are several reasons. I
Hmm.
can give you several reasons.
Right.
It's a precious metal,
Hmm.
but it's not as expensive as gold or platinum.
Hmm.
But still a precious metal, so people like that.
Right.
Traditionally, silver has been used at home.
Hmm.
It's not worn. I mean, gold is an adornment. Gold is worn by
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
person. Silver is used at home.
Right.
So for home gifts, for wedding gifts, that's the best gift.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then, I mean, especially on days like Dhanteras,
Hmm.
I mean, there's some legends and some stories about
Hmm.
how goddess Lakshmi
Hmm.
and Kuber, I think Kuber is the brother of Ganesha,
Hmm.
emerged from the churning of the sea,
Hmm.
and with a pot of gold.
Hmm. Hmm.
So people consider it auspicious to obtain the blessings of Lord Lakshmi, of Lakshmi Devi, of
Hmm.
Goddess Lakshmi,
Hmm.
by buying on Dhanteras.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
silver becomes the prime focus, as I explained to you just now,
Hmm. Hmm.
for several reasons. That
Hmm.
is where silver plays a major part. Now,
Hmm.
with time, with inflation, sometimes even silver plated is bought more than real silver,
Hmm.
because real silver today is touching 90,000 rupees plus per kg.
Hmm. Hmm.
And after considering the manufacturing losses and all this stuff, it's
Hmm.
almost a lakh of rupees per kg.
Hmm. Hmm.
So silver plated is on copper or brass, and use silver plating, it's more economical.
Hmm.
Many jewelers who are selling only gold
Hmm.
or only silver have started asking us, please supply us silver plated stuff if we can make that same quality.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I mean, the quality, this is one of our learnings, is how we manage this. Is
Hmm.
our silver plating does not get worn off in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years even.
Hmm. Hmm.
Basically tarnished, like it doesn't
Right.
go black.
Silver normally tarnishes, but in our
Hmm.
case, it does not. We controlled those techniques.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's not just a simple lacquer, but it's many other things.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, I mean, I think that answers your question. And,
Right. Right. So, when we talk about the new generation and the silver buying trends, so do you think that the new generation is really interested in silver investment options, or is it more about just buying for, themselves? Or because I see a lot of people around me, they are interested in investing in silver, buying it as an investment option, not so much as gifting option. So, what are your views on that?
So, like silver has a lot of uses in modern, like technology,
Hmm.
like wiring and for mobile phones and stuff. So as an investment option, silver is going to shoot up in the next 5, 10 years. It's just going up. So
Hmm.
it is a good option. And people look at it, but currently I don't think people my age, 34, 35, they're not primarily looking at silver. There's a lot of options, there's stocks and there's crypto and there's a lot of options, people, startups. So it's not the main focus, I think, but it will be in the next few years when it starts rising massively. And I think someone my age would buy it more for, like it looks classy at home on home decor, and it's got a good, lustrous look. And so it's
Hmm.
more for the look right now than investment, but I think that's going to change in the next few years.
Investment also is more in silver.
No, but that's also
More,
parents.
no, no,
You would buy me a t-shirt in silver. I would not buy it
no,
for
I'm,
myself.
I'm distinguishing that.
So
I'm trying to explain. In rough ingot of silver,
Hmm.
what we're talking about is silverware.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I
Right.
think investment, those who are interested in investing will be investing in buying ingots.
but they'll be buying ETFs. Like those you don't buy the actual silver. Doesn't come to you. They just give you a note like a like which tells you own this.
Hmm. 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 So
Yeah.
let's talk about ETFs a bit. Then, where is the trend going in that sense? If silver ETFs are
So
considered.
as I said, like we're not too much into that, but just
Hmm.
because of its applications in mobile phones and other technology, it's going to go up massively in the next few years. At least in India, I see like our generation like getting into it a lot.
All
Hmm.
circuit boards, all circuits, PCBs, basically has silver on that.
Hmm.
Biggest
Hmm.
buyer of silver are electronic people who are making electronic hardware.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
They are the biggest buyer. So there's an industrial buying. Gold
Right.
does not have an industrial buying.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So silver is about to shoot up because of industrial buying. Excuse me, but also there's limited supply.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
India is not, silver is not mined in India really. It's a byproduct of zinc.
Hmm. 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 Right.
I think that should answer your question.
Yeah.
Right, right. So let's get back to the wedding gifting as we were discussing about. So, you mentioned about the trousseau gifting, which is so much, not so much in trend as of now. But if we talk about trousseau gifting, because the wedding season is, just right around the corner, and the brides maybe looking out for some silver gifting options or silver options for them to carry in the trousseau as well. So, what are some options for the brides to bees to carry in the trousseau when we talk about silver?
That's a tough one because the answer will be very general. There
Hmm.
can't be any specific, each to their own taste.
Hmm.
But let me tell you one thing. The selection is made by the bride, most probably, and
Hmm.
but the payment is made by the parents. So the bride can go berserk, but she has certain preferences. Now, for the bride, depending if she's a homemaker bride,
Hmm.
then she will look for items like flower vases,
Hmm.
look for articles like serveware,
Hmm.
picture frames.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if she's more the outgoing type and not really the other more of homemaker. When I say
Hmm.
homemaker, I'm putting it in inverted commas because I don't mean homemaker as making a home. I mean
Hmm.
those who are interested more in
Hmm.
doing up the homes.
Hmm.
Then there are other articles that they prefer. They prefer silver, all right, over many other material. But there are
Hmm.
many other options here, like they look besides these three, four I've mentioned.
Hmm.
That could be silver jewelry also.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
At one time, silver jewelry was very much in fashion,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
right? But that's not a trousseau gift, really.
Right.
Trousseau gifts, while we're talking, I'll think of more and more. But there are many kinds of trousseau gifts which ladies like, um, which are uncommon as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
They're looking more for design based stuff.
I think Sindoor Dani is also a silver Sindoor.
Sindhudani is one of them. Sindhudani is one of them. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it depends upon the person.
Mm-hmm.
Give some
No, name what?
name some products, because like that's a very vague answer.
It is a bit of a vague answer.
So
It is
that's
a
not the
bit.
point, now.
Powder boxes,
Out of boxes,
jewelry
silver,
boxes,
Mm-hmm.
say like hairbrushes or something like that.
hairbrushes.
Combs or hairbrushes.
Are you familiar with the traditional kind of hairbrushes which had silver covers?
Okay, that's something new I'm hearing about. Absolutely.
We do a lot of those
Okay.
hairbrushes, and
Yeah, we have a few in silver plated. You can check out on our website there. Just to
Mm-hmm.
get an idea of what we're talking about.
Right, right, right.
www.collagesilver.com.
Mm-hmm.
Share the details later.
Right, right, right.
So, personal gifts, yes, there are there, but for weddings, it's mostly gifts for the home.
Right.
Trousseau, yes, trousseau. The thing is that for trousseau, for the dahej, for the dowry,
Mm-hmm.
the girl is looking at what she would like over the next 5 years, not
Mm-hmm.
what she would like over the next 20 years.
Right.
So, which is a fact. But the parents are looking the other way around.
Right. No, I get it. Yes, that's true.
For the parents, there will be many other things also, you see.
Mm-hmm.
It depends upon affordability.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
in a nutshell, that's it.
Right. So, in the coming years, also, do you think that gifting silver would be a trend?
I think it will be the major trend in gifting.
Mm-hmm.
The major trend
Mm-hmm.
as far as wedding gifting is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because of various reasons, I said it's a precious metal,
Mm-hmm.
yet not as expensive as gold and silver. It's a very malleable metal.
Mm-hmm.
So with handwork, you can give it any kind of shape,
Right.
any form. Whereas most of the metals are not so malleable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a traditionally used metal for dining tables.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about forks and spoons.
Mm-hmm.
That's a totally different, huge line itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about dishes, bowls, and the likes.
Right.
There are many reasons for that. And
Mm-hmm.
also, it looks so beautiful when it's there on the table, shining,
Mm-hmm.
glittering, and glossy. It adds to the decor. I mean, some people will say it's a bit loud, but no. Silver has its very own special characteristic. It looks beautiful.
I think gold is louder. Silver is more.
Yeah, but gold you can have a ring or a bangle or a necklace. Silver you
Mm-hmm.
can have a big punch bowl.
Right, right, right. So Diwali is also around the corner. Festivals are around the corner. So what should people buy this year if you have some, options, trends that are peaking?
Well, we have whatever products I've mentioned, we have a very good collection of those,
Mm-hmm.
which I've mentioned. Flower vases, serveware,
So
uh,
this is the typical stuff, like
memories.
for specific, all of that is there also for Diwali, but there's more of a focus on idols and
Okay.
and then puja thalis, puja thalis related stuff, diyas and tea lights. Well,
Mm-hmm.
everything is available. People buy everything, but the special focus is, on those things. We have quite a few, nice idols: Ganesh, Lakshmi, uh,
Mm-hmm.
even the puja thalis are quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Everyone, like whoever's celebrating at home, they will have some sort of puja at the end, whether it's at the home, at the factory, at the office. So
Mm-hmm.
multiple times, one family will have it in three locations. They'll go to the factory, they'll go to the office. So then you need a puja thali everywhere, or like, and it's multi-use. Like I would say, even Karwa Chauth,
Right.
it's similar. And the timing really helps. It's 10 days before that. So
Right, 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 right. So, do younger generation also show interest in buying Diwali, puja thalis, silver puja thalis for Diwali or silver idols, or is it like a customer base that is above a certain age?
I think that more and more it's moving towards the younger generation.
Okay.
Initially, our customers were 60 plus,
Mm-hmm.
and now our customers are 20 plus.
Okay.
Major chunk of customers, 20s and 30s.
Mm-hmm.
It is moving more and more toward that side.
Hmm.
Because also there's a lot of discretionary income now with the younger generation, which was not the case some years ago.
Right.
I mean, I'm not talking about the whiz kid who's suddenly going into a 1 crore bracket. I'm not talking about that. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking that there is generally a lot of discretionary income.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, normally it's bought by all ages, but I think that 20s and early 30s is the maximum interest level in these
Mm-hmm.
age groups.
Right, right. And if we talk about the pricing of silver, so where do we see the trend going if we talk about the silver pricing this year?
Up and up and up and
Up and
up.
up and up.
Mm-hmm.
More industrial buying, the higher it gets. Since there's a limited supply, it's going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Even for our trade of silversmithing,
Hmm.
uh, they will go higher, they'll go up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
To add to that is the industrial buying, or to add this to the industrial buying.
Mm-hmm.
Industrial buying is going up. Everybody's buying laptops, everybody's buying computers, everybody's buying
Right.
mobile
I
phones,
think
and
solar panels also, there's something, a lot of new technology has
Hmm.
uses of silver. It might not be in a decorative way that, oh, look, it's inside somewhere in the wiring or, something like that.
Hmm. Right. So the year is also coming to an end. How was the overview of this year for silver like in your view? And we'll then come to the, what are the thoughts about the next year?
next year I've only given you an idea what it is, and but I see it just going up and up the demand. I mean, I can be very specific and spend half an hour on that, but it doesn't make sense. In
Hmm.
general, the demand is going to shoot
Hmm.
up and up and up.
I think the further we move from COVID, it's getting better and better.
Okay. So, I mean, is there a specific reason for why you say so?
The COVID lockdown, for like our kind of market, 6, 8 months, there was a total lockdown. Everything was shut, all the shops were shut. Like people, their offices were shut, their incomes were, some were not getting paid, some were getting paid half, some were getting laid off. So people had a lot of uncertainty on where do we spend our money.
Right.
All right. So, like it's not just in consumers, it's in companies also. Even the yearly expenses, they had paused. We'll review now and we'll do. So it's like that. So
Hmm.
people were not spending money until, like the uncertainty died down. We took control as a country of COVID. And, when there's more certainty, people are more willing to spend or commit their money to, things besides the essentials. It's a luxury, right? In the end, silver based
Right.
products. So
Right. So, if we have to, conclude the conversation, what would be the, trends you would like to tell us about when it comes to silver, or what would be your closing thoughts on silver?
In fact, I think that would be more appropriate for us to ask this question of you.
I would have something to say. I think for the younger generation, like 20s, 30s, early 40s, I
Hmm.
think compared to the older ones, 50s, 60s, the younger ones are more interested in some practical use out of the silver they buy also. I, if I look at products, I want some practical use out of it. I'd
Right.
rather use it a lot and even, 10 years later, it tarnishes a little bit. I'll get it polished and I'll use it again. But, it's better than keeping it in my cupboard
Right. Right. No, I
or
totally
keeping it
agree.
somewhere in the house. I want something practical, like, for example, like a wall mirror or something like that is very practical.
Hmm.
It looks nice, but you use it also.
Right,
You
right.
know, like other stuff like wine goblets or beer mugs. I think the practicality will be
No,
in
uh,
focus for the younger generations at least.
right. That looks classy, and that is, we are using it as well. It is not just,
Yes, exactly. It's not just for decoration.
decoration. Right, right. Amazing. Wonderful. So, so any final thoughts from you before we wrap up the conversation?
I will just say that your tagline should be buy silver, buy silver, buy silver.
Sure, sure. Definitely, I'll do that. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having us.
Very
Thank you. Thank
insightful
you so much. Thank you.
conversation. Thank you.